Hey everybody, we're starting our new unit. This unit is called Cycles, and in this unit we'll be talking about the carbon cycle, the nitrogen cycle, and the water cycle. And the first one we're going to start off with is the carbon cycle. And so today I'm going to show you this first assignment in the Cycles folder. I'm going to go to Assignments, and it's called the Carbon Cycle Human Impact. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to open up this attachment and make a copy in Notability. Okay, so here's my assignment. Basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be interpreting a couple of graphs and answering the questions about them. And so what we're looking at here is we're looking at the human impact. How do humans impact this carbon cycle, and how much carbon dioxide humans are responsible for putting carbon dioxide into the air. And so if we just look at, for our first graph here, questions 1 through 4 will be answered using this first picture. And I just want to make sure to remind you to look at the graph and what you're looking at before you start answering questions. Here we're looking at the last 150 years, and on the y-axis here we're looking at the total carbon dioxide emissions. Okay, so that means how much carbon dioxide is being released into the air. And it says gigatons of carbon per year. Giga means billions. So this means billions of tons of carbon per year. Okay, so we're going to want to interpret that graph, take a look at what it's showing us, and answer the questions. Okay, graph number 2, questions 5 through 7. Here, what we're looking at is the top 20 emitting countries of carbon dioxide. And here, it just shows the difference between countries that are developed and countries that are developing. Developed countries means that they're more advanced technologically. They would have more cars, more computers, more just a more advanced lifestyle. Up at the top here, it says percent share of cumulative emissions. Cumulative means total, and so that means out of 100%, what's the percent of these countries? So for example, the United States is about 29% of the total emissions across the world. Okay, answer the questions. Graph number 3, we are comparing 3 different planets: Mars, Earth, and Venus. It tells us how much carbon dioxide is in their atmosphere and what their average temperature is. So we're going to want to see if we can make some connections between how much carbon dioxide they contain and what their temperature is. Graph number 4, it's called global climate drivers. What we mean by that is things that impact the temperature of the climate, or the temperature. So some things can cause the temperature to warm, and some things can cause the temperature of the climate to cool. Okay, so take a look at those. Graph number 5 should look familiar. We looked at this in the last unit. We're just comparing the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere to the Antarctic temperature and seeing if we can make some connections between those. Graph number 6, atmospheric carbon dioxide. So this is an observatory in Hawaii that takes readings of how much carbon dioxide there is in the air, and it's measured in parts per million. That's just how it's measured. This is over the last 50 years. And you'll just want to note kind of what's happening in the last 50 years as far as the amount of carbon dioxide. Okay, now if the question asks you to use actual numbers, make sure that you're using data from your graph, like actual specific numbers in your answers. Okay, and don't forget, we've talked about describe questions quite a bit. where you repeat part of the question and answer in complete full sentences. Okay. There's some conclusion questions down at the bottom. You want those answered as well. And this will be due Thursday evening at midnight. So you can get a start on this, but it's not due until Thursday evening. Please email your teacher or message them if you have any questions, and we will surely help you out. Okay, thanks.